Hello and welcome. This is What Can the Kids Watch? A podcast hosted by a married couple in their 40s with two children, a boy and a girl, 6 and 8. And we ask the question, what can the kids watch? There's a lot of films out there that people are a little bit antsy about, especially from films from our generation. We're in our 40s, grew up in the 80s. We watched a lot of things that were considered kids' films, and now you look at them and we watch them and you go, oh, that's got a little sauce on it. So I'm Andrew Elliott.
And I'm Tracy Elliott.
Our first episode, we're going to focus on the Tom Hanks classic, I think it's fair to call it a classic, Big. So this is from 1988. It's directed by Penny Marshall, and say it stars Tom Hanks. Where would you like to begin?
It was a bit different watching it this time round.
How old do you think you were when you first watched it?
About 10, maybe? I don't think we saw it in the cinema.
So we were both at the correct age to look at it from the point of view of, that could be us. We could make a wish. We could grow up and big but still act like a child and get away with it.
Yeah, it's a kid's dream, isn't it?
I would have been 8 or 9. So Big, back in the day, was a PG. When you have it on video, PG. It is now, according to Disney Plus, they do ratings that's like a number and a plus, and they have it rated as a 12 plus. And you looked on Amazon and the Blu-ray.
That was 12.
Yeah, so 12 plus is pretty much where we're at now, and we will discuss why it is now a 12 rather than a PG. People, I think, aren't keen on showing their kids Big because it has undeniable sexual elements to it.
I don't think, when I first watched it, I don't think I questioned how wrong it is. And you can see, well, they don't show you much.
No.
Really. But it is suggested that they're getting on.
We see her boobs, but in a bra. She takes her top off and she didn't get her boobs out, but, we see her bra'd up boobs.
However, it's setting it up from the get-go because the boys are discussing the teacher in the class?
The kids the kids perv on their teacher.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that it excuses what happens later on, but it kind of sets it up.
It's already established that they've...
The kid is 12, approaching puberty, is starting to look at the opposite sex
they're
in
becoming,
a desirable way.
They're becoming little horn dogs. I think early on, I think the kids they were really into it.
They were really engaged.
I think when he first becomes big, and there's a lot of slapstick, like trying to get his teenage boy jeans on and he can't and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and hiding from his mum until he can sort this out.
Yeah, the kids were really laughing a lot at all that.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's kind of harrowing because the mother, when she sees Tom Hanks and he's spouting all this crazy stuff that I'm your son, it's like that would absolutely traumatize you.
I think seeing it from a kid's when we were children, you're seeing it through the eyes of the kid. As an adult, you're seeing it
from
her point of view.
Yeah.
And as I know it's fantasy thing, but you would react like that.
Well, yes, but there's a ton of stuff they don't do. And I've made a list. This film doesn't give a shit about real life protocol. The police are never round at her house. There's never a bit where they're like, oh, we'll have the phones tapped in case like the kidnappers ring or anything like that. And I'll tell you what else happens. The dad completely vanishes. Josh's dad completely vanishes from the film once he has grown up.
Yeah, you'd think that something...
it's only ever the mother dealing with it by herself. And I think that's utterly insane. She does put in a good performance. She's the worried mother in Last Action Hero as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Typecast much?
So our daughter, when Josh is big for the first time and he's got a panic on and he gets on a bike and he goes to find the fairground and finds Zoltar, There's a scene earlier where he wants to be big because he can't go on a ride. He's too short to go on a ride. And our daughter thought he got on his bike and was rushing off so he could go on the ride, not to go find Zoltar, which really says a lot about her mindset. She's like, well, he's big now, so yeah, go and get on that ride, lad. Fill your boots.
That's what she would do.
Yes.
Not thinking about the other problems it's causing.
So, when they get to New York,
Yeah.
so he can't stay in New Jersey. He has to go off to New York. And this is 1980s New York. And 1970s and 1980s New York, I always remember being terrifying. I mean, you know, it
was a bit of a dump, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Really?
It's no coincidence that John Carpenter made Escape from New York in the early 80s. And you know, New York, I'm sure, you've been to New York, haven't you?
Yeah.
So when were you in New York?
2007, I think. Yeah, 2007.
You weren't there for long, were you?
No, just probably about a week or so.
Okay.
It was nice. I wouldn't want to live there. I mean, they showed the worst with the hotel, like the really grotty hotel. And
yes,
like
and the prostitutes outside.
And the druggy dealers and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, if you're going to try and disappear, like what he did and lay low for a little while,
yes,
you would go to New York because there's so many people there.
Yeah, yeah.
Him getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that?
He gets a job very easily, and it's sort of through circumstance.
Yeah,
like
which is very unrealistic, like especially today how hard it is to get
It
jobs
felt
now.
like they wanted to hire someone as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Josh says something that makes him makes the interviewer think that Josh has gone to a really good university.
Yeah.
Then he hasn't. So he's sort of...
When you could lie on your CV.
Yeah, the guy's just a bit like at the end of his rope, and I think he just wants to hire someone. And here's a grown-ass man turn up who knows about computers. And don't forget, in the 1980s, computers to many people were still like witchcraft. So if someone turns up and says, I know how to work a computer, you'd be like, well, you're our messiah. Come on in, have this job. Because people did not understand computers in the 1980s.
No.
Especially older people. Kids did, but older people did not because they hadn't grown up with them. So yeah, I can believe that he could, but it is a stretch belief.
Yeah.
So our daughter was regularly embarrassed.
Even our son was at times.
Yes.
And for a 6-year-old, he was using his blanket, covering his head. Well, both of them at one point.
Yeah.
Which, because in their minds, they still knew that he was a child.
Yes.
And
so they were embarrassed by his conduct.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we get to when it starts to get sexy.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I mean, she takes her top off to reveal a bra.
No. He's got a bunk bed, and she's wanting to stay over with him, and she's expecting to have sex, and he just thinks it's a sleepover, and he says, in regards to his bunk bed, I get to be on top. And she's like, okay.
Yes. It suggested also that she's a bit of a...
She shagged her way through the office. That is suggested.
It's like, how do I say this in a nice way? But yes.
Don't try and be gentle about it.
Yeah.
Although, early on, we're told about a different office bike.
Yes.
There's that woman who you just have to tell her your name and she'll wrap her legs around you. And then later on at the party, she's talking about her leg workout routine. I think one of the most interesting things about it is because he's a child and acts like a child, it turns everyone else into a child around him. And that's good and bad. Robert Loggia, who plays the boss, he's obviously a significantly older man, but that scene where they do the piano, the huge piano,
the iconic scene.
The iconic scene. It's like, Josh has reawoken this man's inner child, all for the best. And Elizabeth Perkins, once again, she changes how she dresses. She starts to look more natural. She starts to look more like a real person rather than some kind of corporate robot. And she starts to have fun. And then John Hurd, who's the sort of love and business rival, he starts to act brattier. he acts like a child in the worst possible ways. He becomes a little shit.
Yeah, all the worst qualities.
Yeah, the worst qualities of a child come out of him. And that is very interesting to see that, well, this film is about a man with an actual inner child, and then he's bringing everyone else's inner child out, and we find out what the inner child is of these people. And some people react to him very positively, some people react to him very negatively, and one person reacts to him very sexually. When they're about to kiss, the kids went apeshit.
They're like, no!
Don't want them to kiss because he's really a child. And no! And she's like way older than him. They're actual quotes. Oh my God, I will say this. You know the bit when they've had sex? Mm-hmm. And then the next day he goes into the office and he's full of enthusiasm, shall we say.
Yeah. So
the daughter said, he's feeling very happy. It's like, yeah, I know how that feels. She also said, he's a wonderful guy.
I can't help but feel like, I know it's not real life, but like, had he gone, like, Big Two, he goes back to the house, goes back to his family, and then he just can't deal with being a child anymore because obviously he's...
I think he can, though, because you do get that little tiny bit at the end on the end credits where him and the pal are back to...
They're talking
and it's the same shot we saw earlier in the movie where they're walking away from camera and just like, they're just walking home, just lads, because they live next door to each other, so just lads. Do you think, because he pitches some solid toy ideas, and he leaves in the middle of a meeting, and I think that interactive comic book idea he's talking about, I think they're going to make that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon she's rocking up every month?
What, with the royalties?
With royalty, the money for, like, I'll split it, because I'm making tons of money off this. Are they going to start questioning where he's gone? Which to my answer is no, because obviously the mother never... The police were never bothered that this guy vanished. The boy vanished, so the grown-ups aren't going to bother that this other guy's vanished.
Well, yeah, but also I was thinking about the best friends, because obviously if the kid next door has been kidnapped, you're not going to let your kid go to
New York. I also thought that was mad.
Any after-school clubs or anything. You'd be marching them to and from home.
Because he's regularly getting on a bus and going to New York and negotiating New York by himself. I'm not sure, can he legally get on a bus and go to New York when you're that age?
I honestly
suppose it's America, isn't it? Do what you want.
Yeah.
The kids really enjoyed it. They said they'd watch it again. Not that I want to. I'm not likely to put it on again.
No.
But just they seemed, there was bits they were uncomfortable with, but they did really enjoy it. Now, full disclosure, we watched a version of this film that I downloaded off ITV, and I assumed it would be unedited. But there is absolutely a scene where the best friend calls him an asshole and says fuck, which is now, I assume, why it's a 12 plus rather than a PG. So if you watch this on Disney Plus, or you buy that Blu-ray, or even a DVD, or maybe if you've even got a VHS, you will be showing your kids a film that does have asshole and fuck.
Yeah.
But our version didn't have that. But I'd wish it had, because I'm not interested in showing them edited material. If we're going to show them something, the point is to show it warts and all, and then make the decision, was that appropriate? Were we right to have shown them that?
Was it listed as a PG or a 12 on ITV?
It didn't have that. Have that information. But, why take out the word fuck and arsehole when you're perfectly happy to have Elizabeth Perkins there in her bra and loads of insinuations that they've had sex and going to have sex?
But that's another thing. Have they edited anything else out?
Well, that is the question. I'll tell you why I think they didn't. For those of you who don't know, I edit a lot. I have edited many, 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 many things. Music videos, short films, documentaries, all the time. I can tell when an edit happens. And as soon as that scene came on with the swearing in it, I could tell in their voices that things had been cut out. That I wasn't going into this film remembering that he said fuck, but I could hear an edit point.
We're trying to do this so that we can watch films that we watched when we were younger and try and assess them if they're appropriate for kids now.
Yes. But but there's also, this is not just going to be films from when we were younger.
No, it'll be
there's
modern stuff as well.
loads of things, and we're going to talk about some films in future episodes that are flat out 15 certificate films that I have shown our children,
Yeah.
and I do not regret it. There's one film in particular that is a 15 that they absolutely adore, and I made the choice to show them.
Which film was that?
Well, I could say, we could keep it a surprise.
Okay.
But we will be doing an episode on that particular film.
Did I watch it with you?
No.
Okay, then.
But you have seen it.
Yes.
And we'll watch it again because the kids do want to watch it again.
I mean, what films did you watch when you were younger that you definitely will not show the kids?
Oh, I watched Hellraiser, Evil Dead, Total Recall.
See, Terminator, I remember
Oh, yeah, I
seeing
did
that.
watch Terminator.
Terminator when I was definitely under 10, and that did scare me. So I wouldn't show them
To be
that.
fair, I maintain what that franchise became is not what it started. The first Terminator is a slasher movie. It's for all intents and purposes, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator is basically Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees. He's just a big stoic killing machine going, in that case, door to door, murdering in that, specifically people called Sarah Connor. And it is devised as a horror. The second one is not. And I don't know how to describe the ones that come after the second one because they're all ridiculous.
And largely forgettable. I mean, Terminator, I don't know whether or not as a standalone film it was just iconic and scary, whereas Terminator 2, they turned it around.
People love Terminator 2 more than Terminator.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm much more into Terminator.
Is that because they made the bad guy a good guy?
Well, in its defence, at least making Arnie a good guy meant they could then give us the amazing Robert Patrick as the T-1000. He is the best thing in that second film, I think. Considering he's like pretty much brand new as an actor at that point. I mean, he'll have been doing stuff, but you know what I mean. He's like, that's the first time I think most people remember seeing Robert Patrick. Mm-hmm. And to go up against gigantic movie star Arnold Schwarzenegger and absolutely hold his own, and at the same time, every time you watch it, you're like, that T-1000, he's going to be a problem for the Terminator in this movie.
Did he come back for any other film?
Robert Patrick?
Yeah.
Sort of. I think... Oh, no, he doesn't. Someone's meant to be him in another one, but it's not him. Okay. Don't worry about the other ones.
I know.
Enjoy Terminator 2 if you want. I'm not a big fan of it. I enjoy Terminator. And
so it kind of stops for me, Terminator 2.
It probably should just stop with Terminator 2, but I actually just think, for me, it should just stop with Terminator.
Okay, fine.
I know everyone absolutely loves Terminator 2. I just can't get on with it in the way that I do with Terminator.
But either of those films, we won't be showing the kids for a number of years.
No, that's never going to happen. But plus, there's a proper sex scene in Terminator 1.
Yeah, which is again so surprising that my parents let me watch it. But then that was a proper.
Is it let in air quotes?
No, I think I do remember being on the couch with mum and dad, and yeah, I was really young.
Come on, Tracy, do you want to see Linda Hamilton get railed?
No. Well, it's one of those things that I don't think that they actually watched it before we watched it.
Maybe.
And I think that, when people say, you need to watch it, and
yeah.
Back in the day, there was only 4 channels. So if it was on TV, let's watch it. And I don't know how much was edited.
So you might have watched a version that didn't have the sex scene in it.
I don't know.
No.
I can't remember.
Well,
but I do remember being traumatised by that film. So, yeah.
It's still a good film.
I mean, that's one thing. We don't want to traumatise kids.
No, we're not. We're not traumatising them. But they're going to see, they are my children. They're going to watch some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm an avid film viewer, and I'm always looking, and I'm quite responsible. I love James Bond films. Proper think they're incredible, most of them. But I haven't shown the kids any of them because I'm too aware of the very in-your-face sexual elements in them. Like, he's usually...
And the misogyny, there's a bit
Yeah,
of...
I mean,
yeah.
that puts me off because, like, we've got a daughter. And also for our son, it's like, I don't want you to see a man treat a woman in the way that he sometimes does in those films. But having said that, I'm very much of the opinion that Bond is a means to an end. He's not necessarily the hero to me. He's certainly the heroes of those films, but he's like, this is a worst case scenario. We have to send in a worst case scenario to defeat a worst case scenario. I don't look at Bond as like this sort of, what a good bloke he is. He's just a killing machine. But I enjoy that. That's the films I enjoy watching. But I don't subscribe to the heroics of Bond. I'm more like, yeah, you're just watching a man doing what he absolutely has to do to save the country, the planet, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's my view on Bond. But yeah, the misogyny and the overtly sexual elements in films that are listed as PGs. You can, the DVDs and the Blu-rays, it's all got PGs on them. And it's like, oh, well, I mean, that's... He's being very aggressive with that woman, and yeah.
Starting from the 1960s, is there anything that's questionable regarding, like, race or...
Oh, in Bond? Yeah, there is.
So it's...
There's also that as well. But I've had to explain racism to the kids quite a lot, and not even because I've shown them something grown up. A film that is intended for them to watch is Bedknobs and Broomsticks. And the end of Bedknobs and Broomsticks, the Nazis turn up. And I realised I had to explain the Nazis to the children. And this wasn't this year. This was a couple of years ago. They were significantly younger. I had to explain the Nazis. And you can't explain the Nazis without going into what racism is.
Yeah.
And I tried to keep them very aware, culturally aware. And that was a surprise. It's a surprise how many things are appropriate for them that have Nazis in them.
Yeah, they seem to be the go-to
We've
guy.
not shown them any Indiana Jones films yet, but
No.
I think the purpose of showing them Indiana Jones films are going to be in conjunction with this podcast.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. When we say what can the kids watch, obviously they can watch like Marvel films and Star Wars and Disney films and all that sort of thing. We're not gonna talk about those films. That's not what this is about. This is, can they watch these edgy sort of supposed kids films from when we were
when we were younger, because obviously
films that are being produced now that are a bit edgier. I want them to be cine literate.
Yeah, because there's nothing more depressing than having a conversation with someone and they've maybe never seen Jurassic Park or...
I've had conversations
Back to the
with
Future,
people that have never seen Jurassic Park.
Well, it's... Yeah, and they were
I
so
say
big.
conversations, it's me yelling at them.
But I'd like, at the end of the day, to have a good knowledge of all these different stories and...
But understand as well, and understand just because what this was back then was considered acceptable and now it's not acceptable doesn't mean you can't watch it.
Yes.
You shouldn't just that's not acceptable now. It's like, yeah, you're correct. It's not, but it's still worthy of being watched. Sometimes it's just a learning tool of like, that is what things were like back then. But you shouldn't shy away from the things of the past just because it's now considered unacceptable to say that word or this or that or do that.
Yeah, as long as you don't use that language
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
then you're fine. There was from my youth, I remember having a video of songs from the South, or Songs of the South. It was a Disney.
Yes, the Disney film.
Disney,
yes.
and I loved the songs in it.
Zippity doo dah.
But considered very racist.
I mean, just is.
Well, yeah, it is racist.
All the black folk in it are just like basic sort of simpletons and telling honest home truths. And it's like, oh my God.
But I liked it when I was younger because it was so catchy in the songs. But you cannot.
Do you know what's also good about that film? In the same way you get with Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Mm-hmm. I always liked live action films where the characters interacted with cartoon characters.
Yes.
I loved that. Like
with the penguins,
yeah.
or Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, like when in Bedknobs and Broomsticks when they end up in the football game.
Oh,
with
yeah.
with the jungle animals
To win the medal.
Yep, I think it's utterly amazing when back in the day when a live action person interacted with a cartoon. Doesn't mean anything now because obviously real people now interact with CGI characters, and that is the same principle.
Yeah.
Like obviously I know Andy Serkis is there on set in Lord of the Rings in like a morph suit, but Gollum is a CGI character. Jar Jar Binks is a CGI character. We've seen that so much now, but when we were children, that was like, that's mind blowing.
Yeah, because you didn't know how it was done.
Do you know the story about Bob Hoskins and his son?
No.
His son had the absolute like little rage with him for a bit, and he couldn't work out why. And he was a young son, and it took a couple of weeks, and he eventually got it out of him. He was like, "What's wrong? Why is your nose so bent out of shape with me?" And it's because the kid had seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit and was furious that he had a dad that didn't introduce him to Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and
dear.
all the characters that are in that film. And he had to explain to him. And that brings me on to another point of a way I raise the kids. I don't let them believe this stuff is real.
No.
And I make a big point of saying, see that person there? They're also this. We're watching Big, and I said, see Tom Hanks? He's the voice of Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah, you bring it to something that they're familiar with.
And the other thing I maybe shouldn't do is, I do always say, that person's dead now.
Just depress them.
They're all right. They learn. They're just like, and they ask me, sometimes they come to me, Dad, in fact, it was this morning, we're big Doctor Who fans in this house, and my son came up to me and said, Dad, is William Hartnell dead? I was like, yeah, he died in the 70s, a long time ago. And he went, oh, I want to meet all the doctors, though. And it's like, yeah, well, he's dead.
Oh, dear.
He's not the only one.
That is one thing with showing kids older films. The likelihood of the actors actually being dead is quite high.
Especially dogs. I was like, that dog will be dead now.
Oh. Yay.
It's true, though.
Speaking of Tom Hanks, I asked you this question earlier.
Yes.
So, you know how IMDb have got known fors?
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. So,
yeah.
So when it comes to Tom Hanks, what's the first film that you think of?
And I said Philadelphia.
Which is a film we can't show the kids.
No. But I will say another one, the second one that sprung to mind, which we maybe can show the kids, is The Burbs.
Yes.
I think.
Maybe?
No, I think so. I think they can do The Burbs. It's got a nice little element of horror that's entertaining and funny, and because that's the other thing. I've been showing the kids horror films, not bad ones. No. I've shown them very early Hammer horror films. I've shown them a few Vincent Price films. Our daughter genuinely loves Vincent Price, and she's watched Dr. Phibes and Last Man on Earth. And she's quite keen on him.
Well, going.
Oh, and the son's watched Jaws 1 and 2, don't forget.
Well, yeah, he does the sharks.
He loves that. Do you think it's really funny that the thing to measure you have to be this tall to get on this ride is a great big rooster, and basically he's being measured by a big cock?
I didn't even think about that. That just shows what you're like.
Yeah, filthy minded. I understand that. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, big cock.
I was quite impressed that they packed away the funfair so quickly.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't clean up.
That Zoltar machine.
It's cool.
It is cool.
Looks amazing. I would happily have a replica Zoltar machine.
Where would we put it?
Well, yeah, but if I was in a position to own one of them, we'd be richer, and we'd have a bigger house, and we'd have a room for, let's go to the movie memorabilia room. Let's every week we'd make a wish to Zoltar.
Yeah, and see what we come up with.
Although I'd be rich and have a big house, so I
But you
suppose
don't.
I'd be happy anyway. What am I going to wish for? I hope we have fajitas tonight. I wish we had fajitas tonight. And then you have to be in the vicinity.
Or we could just order it and just eat if we're that.
No, I like your fajitas.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, compliment. Yay. Looking at the future, what films are you wanting to show the kids to analyse?
Well, to be fair, I'm more inclined to tell you to mention films we've already watched that we'll rewatch with them, with the mindset of what we're going to record. Like the Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe. Mm-hmm. They loved that. Flash Gordon. In fact, that was a few years ago, so we're actually due a rewatch of Flash Gordon. And the last time I watched it was on Blu-ray, but I can now watch it in 4K. So that's a beautifully coloured movie, so I want to see that 4K colour absolutely bounce off the screen. Anaconda. Not the recent Anaconda that's been in cinemas, but the 1990s Anaconda horror movie. Me and our daughter watched that when she was having a sick day off school once.
So a few monster films.
Yeah, they're good.
A few adventure films.
They're fun. And a few more Vincent Price ones as well, because there's loads to choose from.
What did you think of Splash?
I don't like Splash.
So we won't be showing the kids that.
No, I just have no interest in it.
Okay.
I don't...
It's got mermaid.
I don't care about mermaids.
Okay.
Nah, I don't know. Never... I did watch it when I was a kid. Watched it once. I was like, I'm not bothered about this. And I can't imagine I'll think of it any differently now. Nah, not bothered about Splash. Do you like Splash?
I think I did like Splash. No, because it was just thinking about, films from Tom Hanks.
Yeah. We can maybe look at... I tell you what, when we've exhausted all of our ideas...
Well, it's on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, we'll do Splash.
How can you... Well, considering that you don't like it, do you actually have a copy of it? Okay.
But you're right. You're right to ask, because obviously I do not like John Borman's Excalibur, but I do own the Blu-ray of it, even though I absolutely cannot stand that film. But it's because I want to love it. I should love it. So I own a copy, so every couple of years I can stick it on and
it reminds you.
No, and maybe eventually I'll be like, maybe I'll give it a break, and I'll finally love it.
Is that the one with Helen Mirren?
She is in it, yes.
And the Merlin with the
skull cap. Yeah.
Shiny.
It's Nicole Williamson, I think he's called. He's actually the worst thing about that film. He can't control the volume or intensity of his voice, and it annoys the hell out of me.
Do you have Labyrinth?
Yes.
Do you have Princess Bride?
What's this you? Do we have?
No, because... Right, okay, for listeners who don't really know us that well yet, Andrew has a massive, massive DVD and Blu-ray collection, like to the point of which it takes over most of a room. They're in the living room, they're in the office.
That is the one thing with like the streaming. It's all in one place. And yet, to be someone like me who buys lots of physical media, it takes up space. And I do acknowledge that, but I love it.
Well, it's quite in at the moment to buy physical media.
It is,
considering things are disappearing off.
But I'm not like
Netflix.
I'm not like those people now. I've been doing this for decades.
And it's been doing my head in because...
Oh.
No, when we first met... I remember you lived in a house, like a house share flat thing, and there were just piles and piles of DVDs in your room, and there was just like a little walkway to your bed and then to like your window, and
well, at least
it's like a little maze, like an Alice in Wonderland maze.
At least the walkway to the bed was available.
Yeah, and you could see the TV from the bed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what I'm into.
Well, it could be worse.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay. So in conclusion, Big.
I recommend Big.
I think I do too. Okay then.
Right, so until next time, just make good choices with what you show your kids.
And just watch lots of films.
Or make a bad choice and maybe it'll pay off. Bye.
Bye.